My name is Mark Anthony. I'm the co-founder of EverSmart City. If this is your first time on the channel today, make sure to drop a comment, tell us where you're from, and as well as like this video and subscribe for more content. We have a bunch of videos that we've been recording, basing our videos around the content of the SDG goals, which are the United Nations sustainability goals, and in relation to how they correlate with EverSmart City and our project. And if you've never heard of EverSmart City before, this is the video today that's going to really tie everything that EverSmart City is doing in terms of its mission and its goal, and in alignment with SDG goal number 9. So if you guys it's first time joining, make sure to like and subscribe. If you've been here before, drop a comment below. And we're going to get into some of today's content. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about building resilient infrastructure, promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation, and how all that ties in with EverSmart City, and even why some of that's important. So just to begin, kind of what the UN or what the SDG goals kind of see out of this sector, right? They're looking at parts of the world, right, where there's communities even today that still in rural areas have unpaved roads. There's still areas that don't have clean water or plumbing. There's still areas that don't have access to electricity, even though a lot of the planet today has mobile devices. There's still portions of this planet where they don't have electricity, um, access to roads, or even paved roads. There's over about 500 million rural dwellers that in just America, not America, just in the Western Hemisphere, North America, Canada, and the United States, and Central America, who lack good access to roads. And over across 25 other countries, that's the same thing. So they're looking for ways to find solutions to some of these problems. And here at EverSmart, one of our goals, one of our missions, is that was in direct alignment with this. So what do I mean by that? We'll start with some of the resilient infrastructure. So if this is your first time meeting me, like I said, my name is Mark Anthony. Some of my background has been in real estate. Most recently, the past 5-6 years, I've gotten deeply involved into mobile home real estate, or manufactured homes, or pre-manufactured homes, modular homes, essentially all things factory built buildings and mobile homes. I did the traditional kind of real estate investor route, from wholesaling to fixing and flipping. But then with mobile homes, you get an extra factor where you're dealing with parks and then moving mobile homes. And I ended up getting into starting and building my own mobile home moving company, and taking homes out of parks and putting them on land. And I'm in Arizona, outside of Phoenix, Tucson, Arizona, the big cities. Arizona is extremely undeveloped, rural, meaning desert, right? Desert. Same with Nevada, New Mexico, parts of California, Death Valley. Extreme desert, extreme climate. I say that because it's extremely rural. There's parts of this state here that have still probably have never been walked by man, and if it has, it's been thousands, if not tens of thousands, or maybe millions of years. At one point, Arizona is believed to be underwater, under a glacier. Way before all this, right? So Arizona is extremely desert, extreme desert. So we're going into areas that don't have water, don't have electricity, and being able to build homes, being able to build dwellings for people, right? Delivering a mobile home, installing it on the land, well, water, power, all that off grid too. So when we got into EverSmart City, we want to do this at scale, with more innovation, with more sustainable industrialization. So how we're decided to do that, with my experience, taking that to the next level, with the experiencing mobile homes being dangerous, being flimsy over time. Your traditional mobile home, 1970s mobile homes are falling apart right now. 1980s mobile homes are falling apart right now. That's a very young home. So we saw the ability and what people are doing out here with container homes. And we thought, wow, what a better way to create a mobile home or a modular home than a container home in terms of resilience. They're air, wind, water tight. The container alone, the structure, can last at least 100 years, right? When you're talking about resilience and the infrastructure, imagine now building a mobile home or trailer that's going to last at least 100 years, not fall apart if it was built in 1970 and fall apart today. So building one that's more resilient and safer, and especially for transportation, right? We're transporting mobile homes and modular homes are very hard, but every day we see semi trucks with shipping containers on them going all around the world, nonstop. So being able to innovate at least the modular or mobile home or factory built building realm, and innovating using a more resilient infrastructure, being using a container, shipping container as the frame, as the structure, you begin to foster innovation, not just in the resilience of the infrastructure, but also the transportation. Being able to transport mobile homes becomes extremely innovative, because now imagine if all these shipping container homes, right, are being moved around. Right now, we can move homes unlike ever before. We can move homes just like we move regular shipping containers, by boat, by train, by truck, by crane, by helicopter. Imagine, we've all seen those trains that have, let's say, 200 shipping containers on them stacked up for cart to cart to cart to cart, going for maybe, it seems like, a mile or 2 mile long train. Imagine if every single one of those shipping containers was a piece to a home, in the sense of, imagine if there's a wildfire in California, a flood again in Houston or Louisiana, and there needs to be some disaster relief in terms of a bunch of homes just got destroyed. And now we have this ability to be able to ship and transport 1,000 homes on a train or by boat, as a relief. Innovating the transportation system in terms of mobile or modular homes that can be moved, right? And instead of moving one home at a time, homes can be moved by the thousand at a time on a train or a boat, completely innovating the space in terms of transportation and of resilience, being able to stack the containers. So if you guys see kind of I'm going to turn my screen off. If you see in the background, those are supposed to rep. So if you look at my background, there's a B and an O. Maybe I can move my camera, my screen around. Maybe not. But they're to represent the shipping containers in a sense of where they can be stacked, right? So now innovating, transporting them, storing them, and having resilient infrastructure in a sense where we can stack homes 10 high in terms of storage, waiting for a day that maybe someday they'll be need to be ordered, or just while we're building in the land. So now we're building more resilient infrastructure in terms of the land development, and being able to um, create sustainable industrialization. So in EverSmart, our whole plan was to build a self-sustainable community, to the sense where it can produce its own electricity, it can grow its own food, it has its own water, it has its own commerce, like stores, food markets, vendors, community trades, crafts, things of that, completely self-sustainable. So to beginning with it, powering this community using renewable energy, green energy, being completely self-sustainable. So in EverSmart City, our first pilot project, this model is going to be roughly a 40 to 60 acre development with 300 dwellings, 300 homes. 200 of them will be owned, meaning the tenants that live in the community will purchase and own the homes. Their homes will consist of the first floor of the dwelling, their storefront, commercial space, and then the second and or third floor being the residence. So they'll be able to own their storefront and their home all in one dwelling, first and second floor. So out of those 300 dwellings, we have about 2 megawatts of power that we have demand for, between our farmers market, so we can grow all of our own food in controlled climates, and grow everything on a blockchain in terms of supply chain management, where the greenhouse will be able to record on a blockchain every day of let's say an apple or banana or grapes. You scan the QR code when you go to buy it, and it will pop up basically the recorded lifespan of this plant's growth, or uh, during its before its harvest, right? You get to look at the recording on the blockchain and look at every day, what time it was watered, how much light it got, if what the air pressure was in the room in the greenhouse that day, what the temperature was outside, how cloudy it was, how humid it was. We'll be recording all that data so people can get a sense of being able to make better judgments on what they put into their body and knowing what they put into their body. So I wanted this whole thing to be self-sustainable. So being able to run all this on 2 megawatts of energy with enough energy left over in storage just in case for backups. So for when we go into other markets outside of the US, right? So this first project's in the US. The whole sense of this project is to build a model, a pilot that we can take, test, prove, and then build in other markets, other communities around the globe, whether it's Asia, Africa, South America, Central America, Europe, North America, globally, as many communities as we can serve, all being self-sustainable, all with the community tenants, residents owning their own storefront, owning their own business, having their own commercial space and residence that they own. That is made of shipping containers, completely resilient in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of innovative too. Now they can add innovation, right? You can take their storefront and their home, their shipping containers, and move them to another community by, like I mentioned, boat, train, crane, truck, forklift, maybe, and move their store and their home to another community, say from Phoenix, and say to future communities. Just start naming different places around the globe. We hope to come there next, and they can now move their home and their storefront in a matter of days, maybe a week, and keep all their belonging inside of it, because a shipping container can carry all the weight up to 60,000 pounds. So now they can keep all their belongings in it. Imagine saying you want to move to a new city. You don't have to pack up anything and box your whole home and move, and you can just leave everything exactly how it is. And then in a couple of days, the next time you step into your house and you're in a different part of the world, maybe in a different time zone. So extremely innovative in terms of the transportation of mobile or modular or manufactured homes. All of them fall in the realm of factory built buildings. So innovating factory built buildings with resilient infrastructure, all powered by sustainable industrialization, powering self-sustainable communities that can produce its own energy, grow its own food. Uh, all the water, I didn't even mention this part, it's the key part. All the water in our communities, we're going to do gray water and black water recycling. So all the gray water that comes out of the homes, we'll filter it, clean it, and use it in the farmer's market and the grow house for all the food to be grown. Just recycling all the water and filtering it, keeping it fresh, boiling it, filtering it. Maybe not so much the black water. Maybe we'll use the black water for things like power washing the streets to clean them and stuff like that. And putting things to clean the streets, the walkways, power washing the walkways. We use the black water for stuff like that, since we can't use it really much for anything else, but we can recycle it at least for that sense. So being able to find a lot of different ways to be self-sustainable and kind of a circle economy where everything kind of flows together. So guys, we'll watch the other SDG goals. It will help you kind of bring all this together. We're doing more. We have 16 of the 17 SDG goals. So look for SDG goal number 13. It's a lot in alignment with SDG goal number 9 in terms of how EverSmart City is going to be implementing a lot of different technologies, practices to stay sustainable, to stay green, and to stay innovative and resilient throughout this course. So guys, thank you again. Make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. We really need a lot of followers on LinkedIn. LinkedIn requires a certain amount of followers for us to be able to stream live on LinkedIn. So we're going to be actually doing a bunch of random airdrops with our NFT series pretty soon. Random airdrops of maybe whitelist spots, and we might be dropping them randomly between Twitter or on Discord or on LinkedIn or on Instagram. They won't be spread all the time on all three channels. So one drop might be on Instagram, while another day it might be on TikTok. So make sure to follow us on all of our platforms on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us everywhere at EverSmart City. And then to get updates on all the drops, to get a kind of heads up so you don't have to just be wondering which place we're going to be dropping these whitelists and these drops, just join our Discord below, get into the conversation. We'd love to kind of get into dialogue with you guys, kind of learn some stuff, share some information with us. If you guys find some cool articles out there that you think would be awesome for this community or is in alignment or stuff that we could implement, man, join the Discord, drop in some game, get in some dialogue, start chopping it up with us. And we'll see you guys soon on the next recording.